Alliance for 2027 elections coalition adopts African Democratic Congress as platform. President Bola Tinubu addresses at Lucian College, stresses belief in pride of the black race. Quest for energy efficiency, federal government unveiled new national energy master plan to subnationals. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to the News Desk of 3 on NTA News 24. We are live in Abuja. I'm Vivian Izadifi. We start from the Caribbean islands, where President Bola Tinubu has expressed belief that Nigerians' collaboration with St. Lucia and the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States will make remarkable difference in the history of the black race. The president visited the Sir Otto Lewis Community College in Montfortune, St. Lucia. The institution is named after Sir Otto Lewis, the 1979 Nobel laureate in economic sciences, highlighting the deep historical and cultural links between Africa and the Caribbean. The president reaffirmed Nigerians' commitments to Afrocentric policies and South-South cooperation. He reaffirmed Nigerians' commitments to deepening collaboration with St. Lucia in education, culture, and technology.
I personally offer a trip at their convenience to come and mix with the talents that we have in Nigeria. That is independent of already offered their scholarship. Nothing like education can fight poverty. It's the greatest instrument that we are employed to do so. What you learn here is about service, commitment to your motherland. You are not inferior to anybody. You are equal to everybody.
Before departing the college, President Tinubu paid his respects at Sir Otto Lewis gravesite in the school compound. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has been adopted as the coalition party ahead of the 2027 general elections. A statement by the party states that former President of the Senate, David Mark, has been appointed as interim national chairman of the ADC, with former Osun State Governor Rafiu Ariboshola to serve as interim national secretary. Also appointed is the former Minister of Sports, Bolaji Abdullahi, who is the spokesperson of the ADC. The Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room has unveiled its credibility threshold for the 2027 general elections. Timothy Yusuf reports that the document outlines the minimum standards that elections must meet to be considered free, fair, and credible.
2027. Unveiling of the credibility threshold for Nigeria's 2027 general elections. The document outlines 8 key principles: independence and impartiality, transparency and accountability, inclusiveness and equality, rule of law and due process. The rest include technology and cybersecurity, cost effectiveness, civic dialogue, and information integrity.
And we hope that every one of us, whether in the civil society, in government, or in the security agencies, would play its own role
for women representation. Because as all of you will know, in 14 houses of assembly in this country, there are no female not a single female.
As we head to 2027, the Situation Room is saying to politicians, these are the steps you must take.
Political parties leaders, through the chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Yusuf Maman Dantale, pointed to money politics and elite control as major obstacles to democratic process.
The parties are not independent financially. It is a very difficult situation, but these are things that have to do with our constitutional amendment.
Other speakers believe that democracy is a work in progress and that Nigeria is getting better, with Senator Simon Lalong, chairman of the Senate Committee on Electoral Matters, welcoming the credibility threshold as a timely intervention.
It is pertinent to recognize that the confidence of the public is fundamental to our democratic system. We must make sure that our electoral process is credible, transparent, and reflective of the will of the people.
Situation Room applaud the British High Commission in Nigeria for its strategic role in supporting Nigeria's democratization process. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The federal government has unveiled a new national energy master plan to subnationals, taxing states' governments to increase investment in the electricity sector to improve access and achieve energy efficiency. In a statement by the Energy Commission of Nigeria, ECN, Kogi state government indicates interests to leverage the new policy documents to catalyze investment in the power sector. The new National Energy Master Plan provides, among others, framework for the implementation of solarization program across the country in order for Nigeria to achieve the 30,000 megawatts power generation from off-grid renewable sources and the adoption of electric vehicle as alternative to fossil fuel. The visit by the Governor of Kogi State, Ahmed Usman Ododo, to ECN, the Commissioner Director General, Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi, says demonstrates commitment to deepen partnership for broader implementation of the new National Energy Master Plan and the green hydrogen plants being built in Kogi State, among other power projects. The National Energy Master Plan, developed by the Energy Commission of Nigeria, was recently approved by the Federal Executive Council as Nigeria's Energy Transition Plan document of action. Presidential aides on the newly established regional development commissions have reaffirmed their commitment to driving inclusive growth and job creation by engaging directly with communities and addressing region-specific needs. The conversation on Good Morning Nigeria centered on the role of regional commissions in national development. Kemini Williams monitored the discussion and now reports.
Since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu assumed office, 5 regional development commissions have been established. These include Northwest Development Commission, Southeast Development Commission, Southwest Development Commission, South-South Development Commission, and North Central Development Commission. They join the already existing Northeast Development Commission and Niger Delta Development Commission. Together, these bodies are tasked with driving infrastructure, economic and social development tailored to the unique needs of each region.
You know, North Central is the food basket of this country, and we cannot, most of our farmers who can go to the farm based on the insecurity are now rest assured that based on the presidential order, that there will be calmness in their region, and most of the security agents have been deployed to different regions, different communities, and different farms.
Livelihood improvement is not different from first awareness. And you can't get awareness without closeness to the people. So government is being brought closer to the people.
Mr. President has directed that work should continue simultaneously in all the segments. So there's work going on in Ilela to Sokoto. From Sokoto, work has already commenced, and I'm sure very soon you hear that Mr. President is going to commission part of that road that has been developed.
Officials from the North Central and South Development Commission shared some early milestones, highlighting initiatives in infrastructure rehabilitation, youth empowerment, and agricultural support. However, they pointed out a common challenge: getting private sector organizations to align their corporate social responsibility efforts with the development goals of these commissions. They called for stronger partnerships between government and industry to amplify impact.
We want to encourage our people so that they can start doing things with their hands. So I'm trying to say, Southeastern people, let's sit up. We are known for working with our hands. Let's sit up and go back and imbibe what we are known for so that we can help ourselves.
We have is ensuring that the corporate industries, the corporate world, sees a way to pass their CSR, that's their corporate social responsibility, through our office, and then that will be able to boost, better productivity and also boost better sustainable development in our region.
Guests on the program emphasized that the decentralized development model now taking shape, where regions guide their own priorities, is a clear signal from the presidency that inclusive, bottom-up governance is key to Nigeria's future. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Stay with Good Morning Nigeria. Industry experts praised Dangote's 720 billion naira initiative to deploy 4,000 compressed natural gas power trucks for fuel distribution across Nigeria, calling it a game changer. Discussing the economics and impact of Dangote fuel supply on Good Morning Nigeria, development economist Professor Kane Ife says this innovative strategy is expected to save the nation over 1.7 trillion naira annually by eliminating transportation costs for fuel marketers and large-scale consumers.
So to register for this, and they are voting with their feet, and that is really good news. They are voting with their feet. Okay. Then the two is that it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't stop the status quo, but it just offers a lifeline. It offers another business opportunity. So those who are interested are actually responding very positively. And then looking into the future, the question will be, what else can we do to improve the thing? Because everybody will benefit. Those existing in the business gets more assurance of supply.
Professor Ife emphasized the importance of technology, transport, distribution, and innovation. The presidency has also lauded the initiative, seeing it as pivotal to the government's gas-powered transport agenda. This is the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We will be back with more reports in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to more reports. The federal government has fixed 29th and 30th June 2026 for the hosting of 5th Global High-Level Ministerial Conference on Antimicrobial Resistance, AMR, at the inauguration of the Ministerial Advisory Committee for the planning of the 2026 Global AMR meeting. The Coordinated Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, along other key players in Nigeria's One Health system, affirmed that the conference will reinforce Nigeria's commitment to global efforts in combating antimicrobial resistance to be demonstrated through strengthened policies, research initiatives and public engagement. Oluseye Adiawo reports.
Antimicrobial resistance, AMR, drives and exacerbates health inequalities. It also disproportionately impacts world's most vulnerable populations. Africa remains the hardest, ultimately bearing the brunt of this escalating global health crisis.
Contamination of soil and water, especially from the agricultural and pharmaceutical waste, worsens this crisis.
The AMR is not just a major health issue, it's a global development issue.
Nigeria's Center for Disease Control and Prevention in CDC affirms that AMR is linked to approximately 263,400 deaths in Nigeria, with 64,500 of those deaths directly attributed to resistant infections. The AMR Ministerial Conference serves as a global platform where leaders in One Health assemble to coordinate actions. The 5th edition of the meeting, billed for 2026, will be the first in Africa.
I believe by leaning on the Ministry of Livestock, Agriculture, Environment, Water, and bringing in other ministers globally using their respective networks, we can have a rich discussion at this meeting that represents the realities of our continent on the global stage.
Let me reaffirm the unwavering commitment of the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, the youngest in the country, to the actualization of this very important global event.
Key stakeholders involved in Nigeria's national response to AMR have expressed strong confidence in the selection of experts appointed to the planning committee. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Moving to Cross River State, Governor Bassey Otu has received the hydrographic, geotechnical, geophysical reports and new navigational charts, marking a significant and major breakthrough in the actualization of the proposed Bakassi Deep Sea Port project. Receiving the chart presented by the hydrographer of the Federal Federation and Chief Executive Officer of National Hydrographic Energy of Nigeria, Ayo Olubode, Governor Otu says the chart confirms the littoral status of Cross River State. Justina Itam reports.
The hydrographic, geotechnical, geophysical reports and new navigational charts will provide foundation for informed engineering and construction designs, as well as decisions, ensuring the Bakassi Deep Sea Port is constructed to meet required global standards for safety, efficiency, and sustainability. Hence, Governor Otu believes the Bakassi Deep Sea Port is poised to transform the economic trajectory of the state, the country, and the entire Gulf of Guinea, noting that with this breakthrough, the states await approval from the Federal Executive Council for the project takeoff.
The studies and the charts that have been produced here is going to change, particularly the state plan of Nigeria completely. Good in terms of economy, in terms of anything that you can think. When we match this with the coastal road that is coming, I believe that is going to be a completely different situation.
The hydrographer of the Federation, Rear Admiral Ayo Olubode, says the data will attract investors' interest, contributing to the global seabed mapping by 2030.
The successful completion of this survey underscores the power of collaboration between the federal government and the visionary leadership of Cross River State under your able leadership, Your Excellency. We stand ready to continue this partnership as the Bakassi Deep Sea Port moves from planning phase to reality.
The Bakassi Deep Sea Port, when completed, will address the issue of port congestion, create jobs, and enhance the country's position in global trade. In Calabar, Justina Itam, NTA News.
Towards aligning with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda for sustainable industrial development and economic growth, the Raw Materials Research and Development Council is building the capacity of small and medium enterprises, SMEs, for competitiveness and value addition in the South-South zone. Paul Abel reports that the 3-day training workshop is exposing participants to standardized packaging and excelling in the export markets.
With the theme, Boosting SMEs' Competitiveness Through Markets, Branding and Trade Navigation, the South-South Focus The Director General, Raw Materials Research and Development Council, represented while reeling out achievements of the council in the past months, emphasizes that as it moves to drive innovation in raw material exploitation, development and utilization, the council goal is to support business growth and contribute meaningfully to Nigeria's economic prosperity.
We don't want our raw materials being exported in their raw states anymore. And we felt that by organizing capacity building, we will be able to equip our SMEs into knowing what value can be added to our raw materials.
Resource persons who speak on various topics of importance, including understanding trade navigation, harmonized system HS code, essentials for SMEs, are sat on local market domination before delving into export.
Every product that is exportable, has a code, which is harmonized system code and is recognized globally. What that means is that, with the code, you know what product you are sending out, and your buyer over there knows what product that is waiting to receive.
You have a manufactured product. Before you talk about export, be local, fully ready. Before you talk about export readiness, try as much as possible and have a large local acceptance.
There were goodwill messages from different stakeholders.
From the Federal Secretariat here in Calabar, I am Paul Abel, NTA News.
Despite the current administration prioritizing employment creation as a vital drive of economic transformation, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Muhammadu Maigari Dingyadi, says the government is ensuring that the jobs created are decent, devoid of child and forced labour. The minister expressed this commitment at the International Labour Organization Conference on Child and Forced Labour in Abuja. Joseph Osen reports.
They don't have enough hands in business. They use children as more workers to engage in their work or other things.
Are there adequate punishment for these persecutions?
Vibrant school children with some understanding of what child and forced labor means to development of the society. The future of these children looks bright due to the quality of education and care they are receiving. But they are also worried over thousands of other children deprived of some privileges but engaged in unsafe, exploitative and hazardous work. Here in solidarity is the Minister of Labour and Employment, Muhammad Maigari Dingyadi. He assures of government desire to eliminate all forms of child and forced labour, predominantly caused by poverty, ignorance and criminality.
The second phase of the National Policy on Child Labour and the National Action Plan on the Elimination of Child Labour were reviewed and validated in collaboration with the ILO. Other initiatives include launching of National Child Labour and Forced Labour Survey Report in April 2024, developing a child labour website and the reporting app launched in February 2025, the ongoing review of Labour Standard Bill with the adoption of 15 years as the minimum age for employment.
A 2024 report from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that out of about 62.9 million children living in Nigeria, 24.6 million are engaged in child labor and 14.3 million working in hazardous conditions.
If I'm going to hire a 12-year-old in my house to come and do housework, when do I expect this child to go to school and achieve what I may have achieved? So I want us to really make sure that we discourage ourselves, we discourage our friends, we discourage our parents from employing young girls that should be in school.
This conference is drawing the attention of authorities and the public to culprits of child and forced labor, with agriculture remaining the largest sector, accounting for 61% of all cases, followed by services, domestic work, hawking, then mining and manufacturing. The goal is to speed up efforts in ending the scourge. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has flagged off the distribution of farm inputs and equipment to farmers in Kogi State under the Renewed Hope Initiative Agricultural Support Program. She said the initiative is part of unwavering commitment to supporting women and youth farmers with the ultimate goal of transforming agriculture and improving livelihoods across Nigeria. Represented by the wife of the Kogi State Governor, Safinat Ododo, the First Lady emphasized that the initiative aligns with the broader national agenda of strengthening the agricultural sector in the country. She expressed deep appreciation to the First Lady for her leadership and inspiration in empowering the poor and vulnerable. She noted that the initiative will significantly boost food production and contribute to economic growth in Kogi State. She also disclosed plans by her office to launch a data portal to register women agricultural students in tertiary institutions, reiterating her commitment to empowering women and promoting inclusivity. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Timothy Ojama, and that of Education, Wemi Jones, commended Senator Tinubu and Mrs. Ododo for their visionary initiative. This is the News Desk 3. Thanks for being part of it. I am Vivian Ezadifi. See you again at 6 for more news.